Hey y'all, welcome back to Convos with Bree. I'm Bree, Bree, and today is day 102 of the Visibility Challenge. And today I want to talk about something really cool that a friend of mine and I were talking about the other day that has just been sitting in my brain ever since we had this conversation. And that is about certainty. It's so funny because so many of us fear the unknown, and so many of us are aware of our fear of the unknown. And yet, it prevents us from doing so many things that we want to do. And it prevents us from having this feeling of security and safety and like enjoyment of the process when we are in that place of complete overwhelm from not knowing. Not knowing is so scary because you don't know if something good or bad or both or what is going to shake out. And so when you're moving towards these new spaces, it feels like so scary on the inside. And we try so hard to tell ourselves, it's all okay. It's all working out. I trust the process. But the thing about trusting the process is you actually have to get to the trust first. I told myself for so long, I trust the process. I trust the process. I trust the process. And I didn't trust the process at all. I was terrified of the process. And everything within me said, girl, we have so much experience that tells us the process is going to hurt us. The process is going to lead us somewhere that is absolutely devastating. The process is going to give us everything we want and then rip it away from us in ways that we can't even imagine, because that was my experience. But I also have so many experiences that say I can trust the process and it does take me to beautiful things. It's just that the scary things were so much more prominent in my nervous system, in the way I operate, in the system that is keeping me safe. So when I'm trying to tell this system internally, it's okay, we trust whatever happens, good, bad, everything in between, it's going to shake out and shape us. And it's going to form where we're going and we will find our way. It might not be easy, but we will find our way. That spoke as true to me. It wasn't that everything was going to work out. It wasn't that everything was going to be perfect right away. It wasn't like it was just going to be handed to me always on a silver platter, like, here you go, here's set. It was that I knew that bad things could happen. And it was that I knew life was not done taking me through hard experiences, but it was trying to teach me that I was going to make it through anything. And if I didn't, I'm not here. I don't have to worry. And it's funny because my friend and I were talking yesterday because we both have started living life without a plan. Because every single time we make plans, it never happens. Something else happens, and then we're making a new plan. And it felt like we were wasting so much time planning. So now we just get like a loose idea of what we are going to do if life allows. And we jot down some places we'd like to see or like to go or ideas on how to do these things. But we know that life is going to do what life does, and it's going to take us wherever it wants to. So we're just basically making a plan for something we're hopeful for. And it was funny because we both kind of struggled with needing certainty and understanding, like, we're safe. We're safe. This is going to work out. And right now, Marco and I are back in a place where everything is changing and we're just not sure the direction that is going to work out for us. And it all feels like we have the shortest amount of time to figure it all out, and nothing really makes sense. There's no certainty. It's all unknown. Every single piece of it is unknown. And Marco came home from work yesterday and he said, I forgot how hard this part is. Just like trusting and not knowing. And he's like, I just want to know, you know? And I do know because I struggled in this for so long. I would catch myself so many times just crying and breaking down and talking to life and saying, please just show me. Just show me what this is. Show me where we're going. Show me. I can't panic anymore. I can't carry this fear of unknowing anymore. Just show me. I need to know. And the amount of times that I have said, I just wish I had a crystal ball that would show me the future. I wish I could just see it all laid out. But I can't. And my friend said to me, it's funny because ever since we really started talking, we've really come into so many new ideas. But he said, it's kind of funny because certainty is never actually certain. And yet when we believe it's certain, we don't feel so scared. Certainty is not guaranteed, though. It's just a false notion that we have an idea of what's going on. But honestly, we moved back home on certainties that weren't certain. And everything since we've landed, we've been certain about. And none of those certainties were true. But yet, when we thought it was, we didn't have all the fear. And the second we're aware that the mask of what was certain has come off, we're right back in that fear. And that has me thinking a little deeper about this. Does that mean that even in certainty, the fear is there? And we just don't register it because it's in our unconscious energy? Or is false certainty how we connect and bridge the gap between where we are and where we're going? Does that help us enjoy the process more if we pretend that there is a certain scenario? Like right now, if I pick one outcome and I pretend it's certain, it's already happening, and I move in that energy, what will change? If Marco also moves in that energy and believes it, and I believe it, in our core, the way that we believed that this was certain, will it change the experience? How will it make it different? So I think that I'm figuring this out in real time, but I think that that is the real experiment that needs to happen here. I am clearly aware every single piece of this is now unknown, but it just became an opportunity instead of something to fear. I wonder if when I show up to the unknown in my scientific brain, in my experimental side, I wonder so many things about how this will change. I wonder if anything will change at all. I wonder if it will create outcomes. I wonder if it will make the experience more enjoyable. I wonder, I just wonder. Or if none of it happens, will I feel betrayed? Will the emotion completely leave because I am in my scientific brain? Normally, when I'm doing anything and I'm treating myself as the lab, my body, my hair, my skin, my mind, anything that it is, when I show up scientific, all the emotion drops out for me because it's no longer about being frustrated something didn't work out. Now it's just about collecting data. It's, I want to know what's happening. I want to know how to fine tune this experiment. I want to know what changes to implement to see if we get different outcomes. My brain is so much more excited and in learning mode. It's engaged. So the emotions don't get in the same way when I'm taking it personally, when I'm not looking at myself as the lab, as the scientist, when I'm just looking at myself as a person, as a body, as a mind, and I allow myself to be emotional. That's where it gets tricky, where all the conflicting emotions come in at once, where I get upset at myself, where I don't feel good about myself. So what happens if I stay on the science end of this more often? I've definitely been doing that a lot more in this part of my life. And Marco and I were talking about this yesterday too. I'm no longer the person that's trying to become this version of myself. Through this challenge, through writing, through all of the creations that I have done and been a part of over the last few years, especially, it has really helped me see that and align with this is who I am now. And it's allowed me to put a lot of the old stuff down, a lot of the old feelings and expectations and sense of self. That's not who I am anymore in any way, shape, or form. And I handle things differently. I think differently. I move differently. But just because we become actionable and we become these people, if we don't take the time to actually allow our mind and our like emotional center to catch up to that, we won't see ourselves as who we truly are. It's so hard to see our own selves. We are so close. We are it. So it's hard to step outside of that and see us from a not personal space. But I have been doing so much science and I've been thinking more scientific and more, just more as a whole, as energy, as a collective, as all of these things. I've been looking at it just act completely differently than I used to. And I'm confident in what I know and what I believe and what I see. I'm no longer doubting it because it makes somebody else uncomfortable. That was an old version. I don't need to doubt and I don't need to fear. I know how people respond to me when they're not ready. I know how people respond to me when they are. And I know that there will forever be people that keep me digging deeper and connecting more. And I love that. That's why I do what I do. I never want to be not in this area, not in this field. I always want to be working with others and helping themselves see themselves more clearly and having the conversations that break us through places we could not penetrate before. We could not even get close to. But now we're in there. Now we see it and now we're changing it. Now we have control over ourselves. We understand ourselves. We have connection within. Everything starts to shake out. Why would I ever give that up? I love it here. But now I'm seeing certainty in the unknown. And I'm seeing this connection that I never, ever could grasp before. The unknown and certainty are not different. They're just two opposite ends of a spectrum. And now that I'm aware of that, I know that I can bridge this gap. I can stop being so fearful and stop being so sure. And I can land myself in the middle. In this place of understanding that I can't control the outcomes. I can't control when we have hard times and when we have good times. All I can do is do my best to understand that no matter what happens, there's something greater, there's something bigger than us, bigger than me, more than I am capable of understanding at this point in time. And I can allow myself to feel good about being in this place of understanding. Another thing I want to add in here before we wrap up. My friend, a different friend of mine, said something to me the other day about she feels like she's an advanced beginner. And I think advanced beginner is like the best place to be. Because here's the thing about advanced beginners. They're actually normally, in my experience, more of an expert than a beginner. But the fact that they still call themselves a beginner tells me, because they're saying advanced beginner, they know that they have more experience and more knowledge than most people do in this area. So they know they're leaning towards expert. They are advanced. They know their stuff here and they can be trusted here. They can do a good job with what they know. But when they say advanced beginner, it also tells me that they are aware and also an expert enough in the sense to know that everything is forever evolving. It is forever changing, and they will always have something to learn. Because no matter where you are in any field, there's always more to learn. There's always something that's going to make you feel like you're back at the beginning. So you're an advanced beginner, and I love it. So I think I'm going to that's what I am always and forever for the rest of my life. I'm an advanced beginner because I love it. I'm always going to be learning, but I do have more experience than a lot of people in this field. And it's not just books. I have book smart in this, but I also have experience. I have a lifetime of personal experience in all of the things that I do, that I talk about, that I have these one-on-one conversations with, that I write about, all of it. Everything I do is directly tied to experience meets book smart. It's all school versus the study of life. It is a very good balance. And I think that that is the place where we should all aim to be. We feel good about what we know, but we are also aware that we're forever learning, all of us. I think that it would lessen judgments and harsh responses and comparison and so many other things. I think that it would really help to balance and to help people who feel like they can never do this, what I'm doing. They can never step forward in the direction that they want to go because they're always afraid that they're going to be a beginner, more of a beginner, that they're not going to know something, that they're going to have to admit that they don't know in that moment, or whatever it looks like. But we don't want somebody who knows everything. We want somebody who shows up and meets us with curiosity and wants to learn with us. And advanced beginners are where it's at. I think that more advanced beginners need to step up and realize you're always going to be learning. You're never going to have all the information. So it's okay to start right now because you still do have all the experience you have. I know one girl, she is phenomenal. She is an incredible human. We've done a couple sessions, and the direction she wants to take her life is perfect. It is perfect for her experience, but she struggles so much with feeling inadequate and feeling like she's not ready and not good enough, which I understand all the way through. I have struggled with this too. And it took me a long time to get here. Most of you know that this isn't my first podcast. I had realizations. I had Just Bree HLC. I did all of these things. And I had to regroup and switch things. And I failed my way forward. And I didn't feel ready then. But it was amazing. And the response was incredible. And now I'm here. And now I don't have as many feelings of inadequacy, but I still do struggle some days. And I have moments where I feel all the doubt and all the heaviness and all of it. But I know it's just a moment. And so I stay in it. That is why I created the 365-day visibility challenge, because I knew I needed to push myself through instead of allowing myself to keep quitting and coming back and quitting and coming back. And I knew that this challenge couldn't be about the numbers. It couldn't be about anything other than showing up, because all I needed was to see who I became when I allowed myself to just do it. It didn't matter if anyone watched. It didn't matter if anyone cared. It didn't matter if it was just me talking to the camera with 0 views for 365 days. It did not matter, because all that mattered was that on the days I don't want to, I still did. And I've done that. And I have changed. And a lot of the inadequacy has not stayed with me. Sure, it still gets me in moments, but those moments are so small compared to where they used to be because of this challenge. And I think if more people just did it, they would fail forward too. It wouldn't always be perfect because nothing is certain. But that's the beauty of it. You get to step into the unknown knowingly. You get to choose it. You get to choose and say, I am choosing to connect with the unknown, to understand it and myself more deeply, to push through and do things that scare me because I know I can, because I know I'm capable, because I know I'm destined to do this, but I'm also having a hard time not being scared. I'm having a hard time pushing go. That's how I started this whole thing. I told one of my friends that I couldn't get myself to start. And she said, girl, just push go. Just do it. And this friend of mine I've been working with for years, we've been working with each other for years, and we have come so far. We are completely different people from the time that we met because of the impact that we have had on each other. And there's no denying it. Every area you look at, it's just like I'm still just shocked at how different we are. And in the best ways. We have moved mountains out of our lives. And I have so many people like that I could tell you about, that where we were when we started versus now. Oh my gosh. It's like the most beautiful, beautiful thing. I am just, every time I look back on any of these people's stories or my own or ours intertwined, it's like I can't ever deny that, like, magic is real. Magic is real. I know, because I see it every day. I see it in these people. I see it in myself. I see it everywhere. And that magic happens when you have a safe space to truly be yourself, to truly say all of it and let it off of you. Because this thing happens when we can say these honest things out loud. They don't carry the same weight anymore. And a lot of times, it's like once you say it, it's like they float up off of you and they're like, oh, and you're seeing it. And it's like you have a moment where you get to decide, am I carrying that? Is it still powerful, or am I letting it go? And most of the time, once you say it out loud, it's like, oh, and it just fizzles off into the sky, la, 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 and it leaves you. And then from that moment on, every time you catch yourself feeling a familiar way, you go back to that conversation. You go back to that feeling and you remember. And each time, you might still behave similar, you might still feel similar, but over time, you become aware at how aware you are of these moments, and you start to see these little shifts every single time this feeling or a situation, an opportunity comes up to show you that it's not that you're still carrying it. It's there to show you that you're no longer behaving the same way that you used to. It's there to connect that you are no longer who you used to be. And little by little, every time those opportunities come up, you see yourself thinking about it differently. Then you start to respond differently. You start to feel differently. And pretty soon, you're not thinking about it at all, because you have become this version of yourself who doesn't think, act, or do like you used to before. And that's the moment that you connect how much you have truly grown, how much inner work you have truly done, how many changes to your system you have made, how many upgrades you made that allow your inner system to no longer be completely destroyed by moments that used to take you out at the knees. Your emotions are more regulated. Things don't trigger you the way that they used to. You don't really view it as a personal attack anymore. You see everybody else struggling too. You see purpose. You find passion. And it sets you on this path to who you were always meant to become. That's why Convos with Bree is so magical, so important, so life-changing. It is why I never give up on this, because if I give up on me, if I give up on this stream, if I stop pressing go, then so many people struggle alone, or they get a life coach that doesn't really life coach. They just sort of tell them, they talk at them, they tell them what they should be feeling, and they dismiss their moments of honesty instead of letting them sit and feel it. It's just different. It's just different. And there's a lot of really great coaches out there, but there's also a lot of coaches that scratch the surface and don't want to dive deeper. Or they only know one direction, but they want to help everybody because they need to get paid. And I feel like you can see the difference in what people are doing. And everyone is just trying. I'm not trying to put anyone down for trying. It's just that I know how different what I do is. And I hear it from every single person that I have ever worked with, talked to, helped in any way, shape, or form. And there's nothing generic or cookie cutter about what I do. In fact, most of the time when I talk about it, it's hard to talk about it because I don't always have the right verbiage. It is more of an experience. And once you experience it, you understand it. And most people say to me after we've talked about it, wow, I've never heard of anything like this. That's why I love it so much, because that's true. I know who I am now, and I didn't before. And what is certain is that I will always find a way. Good things, bad things, I will hurt, I will cry, I will feel broken, but I will also feel invigorated and excited and so joyful I want to burst. And I will still have moments of fear, but I will also have moments of calm. And I am going to learn more deeply about the unknown, uncertainty, and rewiring the way I feel about them both, to find more balance, to find more magic, and to see what happens in this in between. All right, y'all, that wraps day 102 of the Visibility Challenge. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Over at convoswithbree.com, there is now a button on the website that says Ask Bree. You can click on that and submit anything that you want to talk about. So anything that you want to hear from me, you can drop it over there. I will not use any identifying information online. So if you're telling me a story that is something that's happening in your life, try to keep it as minimal about the other person or people, and I will leave identifying information out about you as well. I don't want anyone's privacy violated, and everything that you are going through, I promise you there are other people going through it too. So I'll just pick through those when I have some good questions. I'll just pick through and we'll we'll make some videos about it. So ask Bree over at Convos with Bree. If you want to book the one-on-one, go ahead and click on Book a Convo with Bree. If you want to read more about it, there is a tab that will say what is a Convo with Bree, and it will walk you through what that is like. Everything's there, the reflections, the questions, journal prompts, all that. The pattern maps 1 through 5, you can purchase those in the store, or you can also subscribe to the website and get the first pattern map for free. So if you want to just check it out, otherwise the foundation series has maps 1 through 5. And there's also a fillable journal on there that you can get if you would like that. And you can reuse it each time you use the map, or you can journal it in your own book with the questions, whatever you want to do. I use those the pattern maps when I am stuck. I use the journal when I am just feeling like I can't quite break through these emotions, these feelings. I feel stuck in my own thoughts, my own loops, my own everything, my own turmoil. When I really need something, the very first thing that I do is I reach for those pattern maps and I go through them. And depending on how stuck I am, I might only need one of those maps, or I might need to go through all 5, which is really cool about them because you can work through them individually or together. I'm really, really, really in love with them. They are just absolute magic, and I truly believe that the pattern map, the foundation series, can change the world. If everyone started using these and answering these questions honestly within when they are struggling, it would change the way we struggle. So you can check everything out over at convoswithbree.com. That wraps day 102. And remember, y'all, this is your day. Let's make it beautiful. Let's shine. Let's be some more of ourselves today. Let's let some more of that energy out. Let's be good energy with everyone we see and interact with today. We'll spread some light, spread some love. Just be here now. Check in, be present, and enjoy your life. And remember, nothing that is meant for you will miss you. Breathe easy. Be here now.